how's it going? Yes, it is. I've been cleaning for the last couple hours, moving things around. Um, hey there. My workout room didn't work out as intended. I could not get my desk into the room. It's a hallway followed by a 90-degree, it's almost like a little hallway into the room. And I took the door off and I did everything I could. I was like this short, but I couldn't get it in. I also couldn't get my bench press in without dismantling it. But right now I've got the living room to myself. My hands are absolutely raw from moving. I don't know if you can tell my fingers, but they're all cracked and like my fingers are bad. If I run it over cloth, it's the worst feeling ever. When I run my fingers over cloth, it just like catches on every little piece of cloth. It's like, I don't like it. Yeah. Well, I was constantly moving and cleaning at the same time. From Thursday to Monday, I dropped 8 pounds. I went from 178 or 188 pounds to 180 pounds in a couple days. And I was doing my resistance training about at least 2 hours every day, but I was running boxes up and down stairs about 14 hours every day. And like people are saying like, oh no, like you're working out because you're carrying those boxes. Well, that's all just cardio. I'm not really getting hypertrophy, and even when it's really heavy, I'm just gripping really strongly, and I'm like holding it however I'm holding it, or I'm holding a heavy box, and I'm pitched back to counterbalance the weight. But going up and down 3 flights of stairs, that was all cardio. Yeah. Well, if I tried harder, I could have 8. But if I had everything right now, there'd be nothing to look forward to. Meanwhile, no matter how polished I get, I can always improve. Oh, can you guys hear my air conditioner going? It got bloody hot in here once I started cleaning. I didn't realize how hard until I was sweating all over the place. I turned my air conditioner on, but then I tried to modify the settings on Streamlabs so that it wouldn't pick it up. Sweet. I also built something today, but I'll show you what I built. And when I say built, I put it together. Okay, I put it in screws. I read the instructions. All right. This ball is causing me grief right now, and I have all these weights around my feet. But let's turn this over here, and then I will grab. This isn't quite as low as it goes. I haven't even tried doing muscle ups on it yet. It's a little bit awkward, and there is a pedal in my feet. There's like that rod at the bottom. It's interfering with me being able to do a muscle up. I just need to go. My feet need to be here for the whole body, right? I need to be here to start, and this pedal here is in the way. Canada is in lockdown because we're not doing so well. So I wonder if I could do muscle ups without banging the ceiling. There's not that much room between me and the ceiling, but I'm gonna try to force a muscle up, even if it's dirty, just because the thing is in the. Whoa, okay, that thing tilted that way on me. How do I prevent that? I gotta add some weight to it. All right, if I, okay, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna add some weight to this thing. But my weight is in my workout room. I'll add. I'll add 2 of these, and this hopefully will keep from tilting. That's stupid. That, I can't get in the right position. I need to hollow my body. And then this thing gets in my way too. I got 2 things in my way. Maybe if I did it backwards. Now I got these things in. I'll have to go short grip. It's weird. I should have done this off stream just so I could have built up my confidence with it. But what can I do? I don't know if it's a good idea to take out these supports here. Maybe I could take out the bottom one. Because I have one support at the bottom, and if I have maybe one in the middle, then maybe it'll work. But I want to do my muscle up with my hands here. And doing narrow, you can do it, but it's been a while since I've done narrow. I haven't done narrow grip in forever. I'll have to use. Yeah. Doesn't feel like I have enough room to. You gotta pull down. Doesn't feel like I have enough room. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm closing myself off. So this side's. I'm gonna add some more weight. I'm gonna add my dumbbells over here. I don't know. It's not working. Well, Canada has been constantly dropping the ball. Yeah. I'm thinking because I think this thing will hold my weight for regular pull-ups. Oh, I just hit my knees. Oh, that hurt. But I for muscle up to be able to get this motion, and I'm like right here. It's not allowing me to get above the bar, like do a lat pull over. Like I could just cheat it, right? I could just do this. And I can't fully lock out because there's no room to actually fully lock out. Yeah. When you cheat it, you go your center mass essentially goes straight up. But you cheat and you just get over top, so your center mass like you're close to your center mass all the time. When you're doing a regular muscle up, you need room to get your whole body sort of scooping up and over the bar. Hey, look at that. No, but I like being able to do muscle ups over 200 pounds. It's It feels good just being able to do them. But anyways, I'm just gonna start lifting stuff. I'm just happy to be here. Probably not gonna go for too long. But what I was hoping is I was hoping to start my affiliate, and one of the points rewards I wanted to do was muscle ups. Um, but I think I'm going to take out the bar that's on the bottom because there's already two bars on the bottom. I thought I'll take out one of them and I'll see if the thing is rickety or not. And if that bar's on the bottom, I feel like I will be better able to get in the right position. Right now I'm just over 180. I lost 8 pounds. I lost 8 pounds moving. I was doing 14 hours a day of running up and down steps um, from Thursday to Monday, and before that, I was 190 pounds. I got my COVID shot. I lost my appetite, and I dropped 4 pounds. I went from 190 to 186, and then I was gaining weight again after about a week, and I went to 188, and I was going to get back up to 190, and then I just started moving, and like I was getting by the end of the day I was getting hunger headaches. I remember I was just when you're doing cardio you're not eating, and I just going, and I was eating big meals. Like I had Subway brought to me. I ate 2 foot-long subs with double meat and a salad, and I just I scarfed it down. I was still hungry after. That's how hungry I was. That's how much I needed calories. I'd wake up in the morning and I was having 12 whole eggs with 600 grams of lean turkey, and it just well, this is about what 11% body fat looks like on me, but like you can't really tell much difference between when I'm like 180, 190 pounds right now. A lot of it, the weight, I actually lost it out of my ass. Like my waist got a little bit thinner, and my pants started to come down on me a little bit. I have to wear a belt with my jeans now, where I didn't have to do that before. I've got several different sizes of jeans for different variations of my own body. So I've changed my weight dramatically throughout. It's like if I want to, I could very quickly put on 20 pounds. I could even drop like 15, 20 pounds or vice versa. And you need the clothing to go alongside that. It just comes down to what you're eating. The one major thing though is with moving, my body was breaking down. I was foam rolling every every day, flushing out the inflammation. My ankles were getting swollen from going up and down those stairs. Inflammation in the lower back from carrying all these boxes. All right, so I want to try another muscle up, but I'm going to try it on this thing backwards. But I'm going to take the weight I had on this side and stick it over here. Get this dumbbell out of the way so I don't. I got which lines are those exactly? I got the straight. Maybe I have a couple more after I lost a little bit of weight. Oh, what is this thing called? I know what it's called, but there's a funny name I heard for it. I think Joe Rogan called it something. All right, let's see if I can do a muscle up on this thing backwards. Oh. Nope. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab some more weight. Yeah, I've heard it been called the dick root before. All right. And on these shorts, you actually don't see it very much. But if I'm wearing, say, jeans, jeans can sort of hang a little bit, and you see those lines a little bit better. Well, I'm not really worried about anything going too out of hand. If things starts going down, I'm just going to go right on my feet. And I'm doing baby steps. The first thing I would do is do the pull-ups, where I get my chest over the bar. I want to do pull-ups. See if I can do that without the machine tipping. Not enough weight. It's still not enough weight. Man, my hands really hurt. I lost a lot of skin on them. Oh. Yep. Anyways, I'll figure that out off stream later. I just, this is my first stream. I said I was going to take Monday, Tuesday off from training, but realistically, I only took Tuesday off. So, but even just having one day where I completely lays about, it made a big difference. Does the funniest home videos still exist? I remember those as a kid. Now we got YouTube for all of our for all of our daily failure needs. I forgot to bring my bench out here. I have a full room. Well, I have a room that has all my equipment in it. But I've just brought out what I want to use today into the living room. Well, you should see one of my highlights. I was trying to learn to do a handstand on my parallel bars, and I spent the whole like hour just practicing how to fall. And then after I was done, I spoke to several of my friends who do acro yoga, and then found out I was going about it all wrong. So on my highlight stream, there's like there's a compilation of me just going head over heels, going whoop, whoop, and there was a couple in there that were pretty sketchy. All right, have fun. Thanks for coming. So I think this is going to work. I'm going to get a small desk for the other room, and I'll do my workouts in there, and I'll see how that works. I should have enough room to do everything except for I can't get my bench press in there. It's just too much space. But I can use my squat rack and my travel bench to do the bench. But my bench press has the hamstring and quad extensions attached to it. So so I'm gonna have to figure something out. I might sell my bench and I might just buy the, or I might just give away the bench and see if I can buy something that's very specific for hamstring and quads. Oh, when the pandemic first hit, that's when I was doing all my workouts outside, and I loved it. There was sometimes where I'd carry, like I would put, I'd make like 150-pound dumbbells, and I'd carry them. I'd carry them downstairs, down 3 flights of stairs, bring them outside, and then I was doing some deadlifts out there. I was doing some like I was doing farmer carries. I was doing all my exercises outside. I put on a weighted vest. When the pandemic first hit, they actually closed the parks, but until they finally opened up the parks. But I would go to the parks at like midnight, and when nobody else was there, and I'd be doing muscle ups on the play structures. This water tastes like crap. Ugh. I'm just gonna do a light workout today, and then have a shower. And oh, I got a bug in my. Ow! I got it. I have a balcony, and I left the window open, and some bugs got in. All right, let's grab my gun. Yeah, I have a. Normally, I have a live and let live bug policy. Until they come into my living arrangements, then they have to go. I'll kill them all. But until then, if they're out in nature, they'll be free. I think I think the air conditioner that is in this place is dirty. I turned the air conditioner and it's blowing these. It's blowing some dust out of the fence. Get out of here. There. Now I've got some room again. Oh, I got a whole bunch of viewers while I was getting stuck wandering around. How is everybody doing tonight? This is my new place, just off camera. I still have a whole bunch of boxes. I haven't put together my kitchen yet because all the cabinets were dirty, and I spent this entire evening cleaning the kitchen in preparation of getting all my kitchenware. Oh, I got a farmer's tan. Look at that. Um, but I have enough food. I've got food for another 2 days before I have to cook, so I'm all set. Um, it has and hasn't, depends on the person. Um, it's more about how you make women feel, and I have seduced some women in the past been who have had an aversion to a lot of muscle, and that's never stopped me. right? But it comes down to the preference. But for the most part, with women, in my experience, it's more about how you make them feel than anything else. And for the most part, even types are just like they're not set in stone. Dithorax. Well, I suppose, but if anything, like with fitness and health, like when you're training and you're trying to be fit, you'll just have better posture, right? You'll stand up straighter, like almost like you're walking around, just like right, stand up tall, looking people in the eye, just right. That's like posture is aesthetically pleasing. If you're working out a lot and your muscles are pulling your shoulders in, right, that's going to be a look that's going to be unattractive. Um, Posture goes a long way. Um, Maybe, but that like if they haven't got to know the person and that's just what they think, that's just like the same misconception as um, like somebody's got muscle so they have to be on steroids, right? And that's just what people would think without actually knowing anybody who's on steroids. And for something like that, like you just talk to somebody and you can very quickly blow those misconceptions out of the water. That's my opinion. But people have their prejudices, they have their stereotypes. Um, I'm focusing more on triceps right now. It's not even so much as the arm flaring. It's I'm staying upright and I am squeezing at the top. This is like almost all tricep. These are just chair dips. Whereas like if I have the regular dip bar, if I have something here. I'm actually feeling my muscles activate. Whereas if I have this, right, I can still be up. I can still do more tricep activation. Squeeze the top. I can come down, get a little bit more chest. Feels like I don't have very much room here in my living room right now. I'm surrounded in stuff. Hungry Soup, how's it going? Sure, if I'm able to, I run it by me. I'll always answer the best I can. Calorie counting is a pain in the butt. Oh, my hands hurt. Jeez. I've actually bruised my hands with all the weights with all the moving I've been doing. And then there's a bug in the apartment. And I clapped, and that was not good. So is there a specific context you want to ask about calorie counting, or you just want my opinion on calorie counting and all? Okay, my hand really hurts. I am a civil engineer. I do geotechnical engineering. Here in Canada, they give you a ring. Um, Geotechnical like civil engineers, most people think of structural engineers who are like, okay, so there's a bridge that you're designing, or there's a house that you're building, right? And you get the structural engineer. Whereas for myself, the structural engineer will design that bridge. I, as a geotechnical engineer, will ensure that the underlying soils can handle the load, that the building isn't going to fail because the soils that it's founded in are would or would not give out underneath it or settle or. Oh, for calorie counting, like I've right now what I'm doing, I'm not even really counting my calories per se. I am just making sure I've got plenty of protein and I am eating a lot of high filling, low calorie foods in order to stay lean. I sort of know what I'm consuming for calorie counts, but I'm not weighing my food like how I should, or like how I did that. Like back in January, I started a new diet, started a whole bunch of new foods, and I like a lot of egg whites, a lot of vegetables, meats with every like a little bit of meat with every meal, and I was weighing all my food. I really learned what what I was consuming, and then I now I sort of have a general baseline idea, but I'm letting my hunger manage the difference. So if I'm hungrier, I'll eat a little bit more. If I'm not, I won't. I'm just focusing on staying lean a little bit, and you'll never, you'll never put on excess fat on a high filling, low calorie meal because you just can't eat enough to put on tons of weight. But as for macros, like in the past, I've done it all. I used to manage my macros real well. I've spent um, years where I was on a 5 to 6,000 calorie a day diet, and I was fully invested. I weighed everything I consumed, and I had books that I was like doing all the math, and it was like 5 to 6,000 calories a day, and it was brutal, right? And then after that, um, I was still eating a lot. Like when I finally started to get lax on that, I started eating a lot, but I was focusing more on macros. So even when I was like calorie counting, I knew what my macros were, and I was calorie counting to get 5 to 6,000 calories a day, watching my macros for my meat, my fats, and my carbs, getting a healthy dose of each. All right, so let me read this. I am 5', 5'11". I I dropped 8 pounds from Thursday to Monday because I was moving. So up until like a week and a half ago, a couple weeks ago, I was 190 pounds for a couple months, and I'm gonna go back up to 190 pounds really quickly. That's I'm gonna go back up to 190 pounds. So you're pretty big boy, 6'4", currently 242 pounds. Okay, so maybe. All right, so you lost that weight by being in a calorie deficit. So I'm gonna answer Hungry Soup right now. So you lost that weight by being in a calorie deficit, and some people can be in a deficit at 3,300 calories, but they could be in a larger deficit at say 2,500 calories. And the larger calorie deficit that you're in, the more that you're going to suffer. And if you're suffering on a diet, eventually you're going to crack and or even you're not going to be like you're going to do your diet, you're gonna get some gains, and then afterwards you're gonna like, okay, so I've done this, I don't need to do this anymore. But once you have that attitude and you start to, you'll go back to eating how you originally did, and how you originally ate is how you got the body that you had that you wanted to change. Um, so another thing with being on a higher calorie deficit, if you're, and it depends on what your metabolism is versus your active exertion, how much wattage your body is giving off by moving or moving other things. Um, if you're losing weight a certain speed or faster, some of that weight is not just going to be fat, it's going to be muscle as well. The slower you lose weight, the more that it'll take it from your fat stores as opposed to everything else. Because your body can break down anything. It's laws of thermodynamics, energy in versus energy out. Whatever is the difference, right? Like if you have more energy in than is coming out, if you're lifting weights and you have the hypertrophy and there is a stimulus for muscle growth, I think something like an extra three, like there will be extra calories that will be stored and put towards building muscle, but that only goes so far, and it's not as much as you think it is. It's the science shows that for optimal muscle growth, you only need 300 calories being a surplus above your metabolism, where everything else gets stored like in your as energy in your fat cells. And then when you start breaking it down, it can take energy from those fat cells, but it can also break down muscle tissue. It can break down anything. Like what part of you that becomes that energy output. Like you can't really say like, oh, I want to lose this, I want to lose that. Like it's if you're using your muscle, then your body's going to have an impetus for keeping that muscle, and if you lose weight in a controlled manner that doesn't overload how much is coming from the fat cells, then you can maintain as much muscle mass as possible while still losing weight the whole time. And another thing with losing a lot of weight really quickly, that can affect your skin as well, right? You're like if you have a certain body type and you lose a lot of weight, your skin has a set elasticity where if you go overload, if you lose too much weight too quickly, that can lead to more severe cases of loose and hanging skin. And then as for upping your intake, it's like whether are you still losing weight or not? Are you still losing weight or not? And how fast you're losing it, as well as how do you feel, right? If you're suffering, or even that, like if you have no calories, you'll lose weight, but when your body goes into starvation mode, it goes into self-preservation, like shut down everything that doesn't need to be used, and you're just gonna be lethargic and have no energy. And different people can function at different body fat percentages or in different calorie deficits depending on genetics. Like not everybody can get to 5% body fat and live and have a life. For me, my body starts to slow down after about 7%, and then I start to get miserable. And like your body just doesn't want to move. It wants to just like sit there and conserve as much energy as possible. So like you're driving, shoulder checking, just suddenly becomes too much energy, and you just don't want to do it. I'm going to catch up with chat here. Yeah, one thing with the camera though, with my arms, my body part, it depends sort of like how I am in relation to the camera. And it's really annoying because when I go to do my overhead presses, it always looks like my overhead press is like crooked, but it's not. It's just camera trickery. I made a bet with your brother. He started last month. All right, so anything along the route of steroids, well, almost nobody takes steroids, they take PEDs. And if you start taking PEDs, they work, they're not healthy. And even before you, like, they do work, but if you don't care about the risks, you should at least understand what those risks are. And you essentially have to be a chemist. Like, you have to learn the chemistry, you have to learn what you take with this and that, because there are side effects, and you don't want to develop something like gyno, where it's, or you want to minimize your risk for things like gyno, where the only way to get, like, like, it's very common for men to develop breast tissue, like female breast tissue, that the only way to get rid of it is surgery. And you have to understand what you take with this, with that, and if you just take what somebody gives you, you might not even be doing what you're hoping to do. Um, but that is a topic I'm not as familiar with all the chemistry. So should you update your I'm a little bit behind chat here. Yeah, so Hungry Soup, you're losing 2 pounds a week. You say you're 242 pounds, right? Well, if it's working, keep at it, and eventually you're going to start to peter off until you start to plateau, and then you're going to have to assess where you are, where you want to be, and potentially make some changes and go back to the drawing board there. If it's working for you, if you're enjoying what you're doing, and if you're say like 300 pounds, you can build muscle in a calorie deficit. Even at 242 pounds, I believe you were pretty tall. I can't remember. Was it 6'2" or is it 6'6"? I can't. Somewhere in between. You said you were 6'4", right? So you're pretty tall, and so for yourself, you might get down to about 220 pounds before you start to really lean out, or before you start to peter off and have to make changes to lower your weight even more. But at 242 pounds, you can build muscle while burning fat the whole time. So you get bigger muscles and better contours, better definition, better proportions while burning fat at the same time, until you get down to a certain body fat percentage. It's whatever body fat percentage you are. It gets, like, to lose 1%, you have to be within so much of a calorie deficit for so long, and that is going to change the lower and lower body fat percentage that you get. And you can't choose where the body fat comes from, but what you can expect is with a certain amount of muscle and body type, depending on your body fat percentage, you can have an approximate look based off just based off the percentage. Yeah, Mitch, J Show 02. Please, give me one sec. Right, I've done Zercher squats before, not in a long time. Um, I've tried various things throughout the years. Um, Certain things, such as Olympic lifting, didn't really agree with me. I Whereas other things I excelled at. Like, I'm built very well for the traditional deadlift. I last October I was deadlifting 575 pounds, whereas like other things are just a little more difficult. And a lot of the cleans and the Olympic lifts I found were actually very difficult for me. Um, So Hungry Soup, I wouldn't necessarily worry about taking creatine. Um, like creatine and like the whey protein isolate are the two main natural supplements that you can get that are actually going to work and actually have like most of the other ones are superficial at best, like over the counter, like as long as you get your nutrients, but you can get all your nutrients from food. Um, what creatine is going to do is it will allow you to get a couple more reps in when you're training. So instead of going to failure at 10 on a certain weight, you might go to failure at 12. It's also likely to make you look a little bit more puffy. So if you want to keep seeing improvement, like you'll still be making those improvements on creatine. You just might not see them as much because you'll have more. You may or may, you're likely to have more water weight in your body. And once you stop the creatine, then that water weight will essentially go away for the most part, and you'll go back down to doing like the 10 reps instead of 12. But you will get to keep all the gains that you made by being able to force out those extra 2 reps and being able to just try harder and being able to push yourself just a little bit more. All right. Well, I'm not sure I understand it. One, decrease calories too early if you do not look. Oh, I was. If you do not lost weight in a week, then it's time to cut. So I think what Rizzo is saying there is like you're in a cut, or you cut some calories and you're eating this amount of calories every day for a week. If you don't lose weight that week, cut an extra 200 calories every day, and and then go from there. And then if you still lose weight, do it again, and eventually you will lose weight. And it's impossible that you won't, because energy in versus energy out, and that will also be a good way to determine what your metabolism actually is, where you'll determine what weight or what amount of calories that you're eating that you're not losing any weight. All right. If you keep reducing your calories, you'll lose weight. Yeah, yeah. New home, 2 bedroom. I've turned one of them into a workout room, but I couldn't get my desk in there. It there's a hallway, and then this other room goes at a 90-degree bend, and is almost like it goes right into the room, but there's a closet on the left which spans the whole side of the room, which almost makes it like another separate hallway. So like 2 square hallways, and like the desk is like this close to being able to get in, but it just absolutely can't. So I'm gonna go buy a smaller desk. And it doesn't like I'm not gonna have anything fancy. I just want something like yay wide, maybe this long. Stick it there. Stick my computer on there. Put a light in, and then I'll take my workouts to that room. Yeah, like for the most part, if you're getting zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per body weight, um, that's that should be fine. But that's still like a generic rule. But that rule will still likely fit your needs. Um, it's not a rule for everybody, right? Like if if you get somebody who's absolutely jacked, like a professional bodybuilder who's like 150 pounds, right? They're gonna but like absolutely full of muscle, they're going to need more than 150 grams of protein to maintain that muscle mass. But it's not really that hard to get your protein requirements in. Just regularly eat a little bit of meat. Learn what a serving of meat is, because a lot of meats are actually relatively rich in calories, as opposed to vegetables where you you get a plate full of spinach that's as big as your head, and that's like 100 calories. Where you get a thing of meat that's the size of your head, you might be looking at 2,000 calories. I don't even know what I'm doing today. I'm just having fun. Testing out the new settings, uh, sharing my new place with you guys. And even then, right? Like, what's going to happen if you don't get enough protein? You're just not going to have your muscles only going to grow to a point, and like 200 grams of protein is a lot, but it's just maybe not the most efficient, because you need hypertrophy to stimulate muscle growth, and then you need protein as the building blocks for when the muscles get torn down and they rebuild themselves. And without enough protein, it's going to stop once you use up all the protein available. They're just going to stop growing. Good morning. Did you just finish your workout? I noticed that you were still streaming for a long time. I thought you were doing a quick one and done. But you did say you didn't have much time, but then you were reading out your itinerary. I'm going like, okay, so you're doing that. Okay, you're doing that. Okay, so that's like another 4 things. Yeah, that's a good hour and a half workout right there. Oh, you're still going. Okay. Yeah, I spent a couple hours cleaning a little bit more, and now I have a clean kitchen. I can start putting in all my kitchenware. Well, see, so if you experiment, if you go 3 grams of protein per pound of body weight, it's not going to hurt you. Any protein that's left over that you don't use is just going to go out of your system like everything else, right? Like it's just you're going to break it down for calories and energy, and then like our bodies are 1-2 from the head to the ass. Food comes in, comes out, and what part of that food actually becomes you, right? Like that's like there's a bunch of physical and chemical processes that are undertaken on anything you consume, that in order to extract the energy from the food, use its nutrients, right? Get your needs for carbohydrates, for glycogen, protein for the muscles, as well as other like organ health and all that stuff. And if you have more protein than you need, it's not going to hurt you. But realistically, you don't need tons of protein, at least not as much as most people think you do. And even then, if you don't get enough protein, it's not the end of the world. Ooh. Yeah, I'm less focused on my macros right now, as opposed to honestly, I'm probably at 1.5 grams of protein per body weight as well, and that's just because I like my meats. So like lots of egg whites and vegetables and all this other stuff, but I'll throw meats in with every meal. And they're lean meat, so I'm having my chicken breast, and I just like my meats. My cholesterol is great. My blood work is impeccable, or at least it was the last time I checked. Um, I haven't got a physical since the pandemic started. Last time I did, I was 220 pounds with impeccable everything, especially my heart. I had a very healthy heart, like athlete level. Um, I remember I would train people at the gym too, and some people want to be like, oh, we have these bicycles and they measure your heart rate, right? And then they want to. So I'll sort of like I might judge how hard they're going by what their heart rate is, but their heart rate on their monitor will be a lot higher than mine is, and they don't understand that for me to get my heart rate up to theirs, like they might only be doing like a 40%, and to get my heart rate to theirs, I have to go like 110%. It's just although I'm exerting I'm giving off like 2-3 times as much energy as them, and my heart rate's like half of well not half of what theirs is, but like oh thank you. I've I'm happy to be here. I just I just wish I had. I can't wait for winter again, and then I'm not gonna be as hot. Like I'm absolutely steaming right now, and I don't like sweating while I work out. Happy motorboating. That's the yeah. All men like to motorboat. That's my what is it? My theory. I'm right smack dab in the middle of Canada. We are in full lockdown right now. To go in the grocery stores, you got to basically wait outside in a line for 45 minutes just to get in because everything's at such reduced capacity. I'll do my grocery shopping at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I don't know. Like my city isn't really that big of a city, and I've got a very large social network. Um, I've done partner dancing. I'll train like I know like there's a lot of people I've met through the gym just going to the same time slot every day and just I've always been I like people. I like interacting with people. I like listening to people. Um, and what really surprised people was I grew up in a small town and I was 145. I was the shortest kid in the class up until grade 10. Then I got my growth spurt. I still got the stretch marks on my back to show for it. And I was 140, 145 pounds until I was 24 years old. I have a picture of myself at 24. I can show you guys. Boom. So this is me at 24, right? And I hadn't seen anybody that I went to high school with in, let's get rid of this picture. So I went to school in a small town up north, and I hadn't seen anybody that I went to high school with in almost 10 years. And I showed back up at my 10th year high school reunion, 225 pounds with an 8 pack and in the best shape of my life. And that blew everybody away. Yeah, I started training at 24, and I am turning 34 in a month and a half. So it's been almost 10 years. It took me about 4 years to get to what my peak genetic potential was, or like really down close. And I was like an absolute, like I was more driven back then, where like completely blinders on, and I would lift weights for a couple hours, and then I go out partner dancing from like 7 p.m. until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Or I go lift weights for an hour and a half. I go play badminton for an hour and a half. Then I would go do partner dancing for like 4 or 5 hours straight, and I'm like just going. And I was like, I would get to my apartment and I'd eat and I'd sleep. Every other moment of the day, I'd be out of the house, and I was very focused on what I was doing. Just like every day, I was like pushing myself. And then 2000, no, well, like right after my 10th year high school reunion, like right after my 10th year high school reunion, I caught Lyme disease, and that kicked me on my ass. Like I went from being the like absolutely just this fitness like maniac, and to not to being able to like just want to sleep for 24 hours a day, not having the energy to like I was struggling to live, and it took a couple months for it was like a 6 month ordeal before I got that like before I got diagnosed and cured. Not everybody gets cured, and they don't even really know why. But I was lucky. I got better. All right, let me just push this up here. Start using the fat grips. Spotline gap. Yeah, I've I remember all these misconceptions I had throughout my training. Right, when I first started, I thought 30 years old was I thought I was gonna have to stop at 30 because my body was gonna be worn out. I wouldn't be able to do it anymore. Like I remember my dad telling me how everything's downhill at 30, and then that's like I was very hard on my body as a kid. I would do lots of running, lots of sports. I worked in construction, and I would absolutely destroy my body in construction to the point where I'd work construction in the summers, then go to university the rest of the year. But over the couple months in the summer where I was working, I would be completely destroyed every which way you can imagine, like major back issues. I actually chipped my spine. I've actually got a chipped spine in my back that I got from playing badminton or no, from playing volleyball, taking a dive in volleyball. I chipped my spine, and so if you look at my X-rays, it's like regular vertebrae, and then one of them is just jagged, and that jagged uh, vertebrae was aggravating all the muscles around my lower back. So I had back issues for years, and once I started training my back, all those back issues went away, and I've got a strong base, so it's protected, and all those issues are just gone. Um, so it took me about 4 years to to hit what I thought was my peak, and I did a really hard cut. I I was also doing a couple of dance routines at the same time, and those things, and so I was training like a madman, doing lots of legs, but I was also 5 days a week I was dancing, and that was too much. I messed up the tendons around my knee, and I thought I was never going to be able to squat again after that. It took a couple years to be able to squat again because without my tendons slipping, and that was all the partner dancing, not the weightlifting. It was just overuse. But I was still able to train my legs. I just couldn't squat. And then I got nose surgery because I couldn't breathe properly, and I had to take another couple months off the gym. because I didn't recover very good. And in those couple months off, I got my legs back. Like the only way it would ever heal is if you like fully leave it alone, just like rotator cuff injuries or tendonitis. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I started earlier. Like a lot of the people that you see at like 25 years old who are absolutely jacked, some of them have been training since they were 16, right? So 16 to 25, that's 9 years for potential muscle growth. And depending on like different genetics, you can get absolutely massive over that time period of training. Um, and it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's on performance enhancing drugs, but what performance enhancing drugs will do is that 9 years of effort that this one person got, well, the person who might be on the PEDs might get that 9 years of gains in 1.5 years, and then still keep going. The only time you can really look at somebody and have a good indication that they're actually on PEDs, one, there's a certain point where humans just can't just put that much mass on a frame. And the second one is when people first start out and they're on PEDs, like certain things grow fast. Like some of the smaller muscles, the stabilizers, they just don't grow as quick regardless, as well as there are natural inhibitors in the body that will prevent something from growing larger without something else accompanying it on the way. Like your biceps will only get so big if your forearms aren't growing as well. And when you see some people on PEDs, they like those big muscles will grow really quickly, the other ones will lag behind, and you'll get very, very disproportionate body dimensions. But you give them another year or two, and all those other dimensions fill in, and then suddenly, and then you can't tell anymore. You have to look at their progression of how fast they made those gains. I was like, if you've had someone that's been training for 5 years, and then all of a sudden they make improvements that they've never seen before, or suddenly they start getting consistently stronger. That's a better indicator than chick, rice, fish, veggies. Should you be cutting if you're 15? So you need your nutrients to grow, and at that young, it's better to be, say, calorie enriched than calorie deprived. Like a lot of the calories we use are actually in brain development and just everyday active like brain processing. Like our brain is one big computer that uh, just keeps running and needing energy. It's like you get these the herbivores who are like they get a lot of mass on them, but they're just eating grass every day, and they're actually not eating that much calories, but all their calories is going to their muscles, and they'll tend to have a very small brain, and so for us, we tend to need a lot more calories consistently all the time because just because of our enlarged brain compared to other animals. And if you're not getting the nutrition that you need when you need it, bad things can happen that can have lifelong impacts. But at 15, you should be mostly set as long as you've gone through puberty. Like when you get people that look at the past and they try to deter, like they look at, say, like an Aboriginal society or like Eastern European, like ancient peoples, and they start digging up their ruins and they wanted to find out things about these people. Well, what they'll do is they'll determine where like people that were malnutrition, or that they'll look at the bodies that are found and look at the developments, and if they see things like the skull hasn't formed properly, or is there's a lot that'll happen when people are malnourished during their growth period, where you'll be able to tell that in their skeleton. But at the other point, if you're 15 and you're 300 pounds, you probably should be on you should be cutting, because it's healthier to be at a more average body weight than it is to be morbidly obese. And if you are morbidly obese, as long as you're getting your nutrition, um, you're still getting the you're still getting the energy you need from your fat cells that you can burn off, and so you won't be malnourished um, by cutting. After this set, I'll Google that chicken, rice, fish, veggies. I'm actually allergic to fish, which makes getting lean fats in my diet a little bit annoying. So every morning I drink straight flax oil. That's where I'll get my first dose of my lean fats every morning or every day. Tastes like crap though. What time is it? Oh, okay, so I'm gonna Google that. I don't know what I expect. I'm gonna find something very generic. I don't know what you expect me to find here, but yeah, I'm just saying like a chicken stir fry. Put my water. I'm out of water. I'll get another one. What's your height? Height matters a lot when it comes to weight. But if you're not feeling healthy, like if you're not feeling good, um, one thing that like you can cut, but if you're cutting in too high of a calorie deficit, you're going to suffer more, and that's for everybody. And how much that deficit can be depends on what your current body fat percentage is. So if you have a higher body fat percentage, you can be in a higher deficit uh, without necessarily suffering as much, because that higher deficit will still make you lose 1% of body fat around the same speed as somebody who's at a lower body fat percentage will lose 1% body fat on a smaller deficit. Yeah, yeah, because like one way you could potentially cut while maybe maintaining your like or actually stay leaner, and if you do resistance training like weightlifting, it doesn't even really matter what plan. Just as long as you pick something and go like and are consistent with it, that's like 80% of building muscle right there. You'll like just showing up every day and training. There's a lot of good plans out there. You'll build some muscle, but and if you want to stay lean, um, it comes down to sort of balancing your calories. But if you're feeling like bad on a 500 calorie cut, you could try like I'm not really necessarily sure how you're feeling bad. Like if it's hunger, right? Like if hunger is messing with you, because you can sort of satiate your hunger by eating more high filling foods, like foods that are lower calories that take up a lot of volume. So like if you just make yourself like an egg white omelet, like you look at this, like you can make an omelet this big, whereas if you make an omelet of whole eggs, the same amount of calories could be like that, right? So you can be satiated as well as and if you're hungry, just eat until you're full, or eat until you're not hungry anymore. Don't eat until you're full, and like you don't have to starve yourself to be on a cut. If you're hungry, you should eat. Like your body is still your body's still in its developmental stage, and it like a lot of those like 140 pounds at 5'5". That's nothing necessarily not normal, right? Like that's still pretty like maybe just a tad bit over average, but that's yeah. At the end of the day, when I was cutting, and if I was like had those hunger pains at the end of the day, I like a go-to I had is those kid packets of Jello. Um, if you get I think the green and the red ones, they're 5 calories per packet, right? So you get a kid like they come in like packets of six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 12. I can't remember, and I think they're six. So they come in packets of six. Each one of those packets is 5 calories. If you're hungry, you can eat as many of those as you want until your belly's a little bit full. It takes the edge off the hunger pain. And if you have like six of them, you've had 30 calories. What's 30 calories, right? Like, and you're not getting any real nutrition out of it, but it's just taking off a little bit of the edge of the hunger. But for myself, I understand how to eat in order to be full and be in a calorie deficit. Whereas I could always go into a higher calorie deficit and suffer at the same time. I personally have a high propensity for letting myself suffer through a diet. Like if I wanted to, I could basically starve myself. And for me, being below 7% is essentially that. And I've done it before. I've been 5% body fat, just packed with as much muscle as I could get on at that weight, at that body fat percentage. But it wasn't all happy go lucky, right? Like I can be like right now, I'm 11% body fat. I feel great. I feel like I can run through a wall. I have all the energy I want. Like I was 14 hours a day. I was moving and I was just running like up and down. Like couldn't stop me. I felt like a tank. Every day I had a sense of accomplishment. Like look at all the stuff I did. Just going out and just not being inside all day, seeing other people interact. Like I was watching as I was packing up, I was seeing people go on their bikes, and it just felt good to be alive. Um, whereas like and so 11% body fat, feel great. What like 5% body fat, like everything becomes exactly what you eat. And the best analogy I heard was there was another person that was a bodybuilder friend of mine. He was cutting at about the same time, and he was saying how he would kill somebody for a pop tart, and that's exactly how I felt. Right? It's just like there's always a little bit of tension that's just bubbly there, just because you want to eat, and uh, and the easiest way to get away with not fulfilling those urges is literally just not to keep those foods around, right? Like you don't keep the foods that you're going to snack on in the house. So then you just go like, okay, so I'm going to drink some water and go to bed. Yeah, and I somewhat agree with Drift Monkey. Um, and except it doesn't necessarily have to be Whole Foods, but Whole Foods will rarely let you go wrong, unless you're just eating too much like rich meats, right? Like rich meats are very high in calories, and if you go on like a carnivore type diet, that does a whole other ball game worth of things to your body, um, which is a little bit different. But one thing that's a killer is cheese. Cheese is the most delicious thing in the world, but by and large, society would be a lot healthier if we just removed a lot of the cheese from our diet. Because like you think of what is one serving of cheese? Well, nobody ever just has one serving of cheese. It's it's too addictive, and it stimulates your hunger, so it just makes you want to eat more after you have it. And meanwhile, like a slice of cheese, you're adding like 130 calories to whatever you're eating, and like to the point where like cheese is nutritious, but that's only if you're having a serving of cheese, rather than like six servings of cheese, which is how people will like proportion it. So by and large, society would actually be healthier if everybody switched to processed cheese instead of regular cheese. That would help. Just like there's just too many calories that people are consuming in cheese, as well as how cheese affects your hormones and messes with your hunger. But processed cheese definitely isn't as good, right? Like processed cheese, it's like maybe like 70% as good as real cheese, but it's not as good. And the last modification I made to my diet was I cut out cheese. Um, I would just have a little bit of cheese, just because it helps stimulate my appetite, so I get a little bit more food down. Um, but I cut it out more so I could regulate my hunger a little bit better. Um, and what I replaced it with was I replaced it with these 0 calorie sauces. So they still taste really good, but suddenly I had like 100 calorie just taken out of my diet a day, and it's just gone. Where you wouldn't think you'd notice it that much, but it really messed up my entire eating schedule. So like when I ate was sort of like when I like my body got used to eating at certain specific times, but then suddenly I was getting hungrier a little bit earlier, so I would eat the food that I prepared like an hour before I intended to eat it. So I had to make up those 100 calories somehow. So I started adding that to my breakfast, first meal of the day. Oh, I actually don't even have my music on today. I had it on I had it on in the start, but then I turned my music off just to answer somebody's question, and then I just been enjoying chatting with you guys. It's been a good night. I'm gonna go shower after this because I'm a little bit sticky. I was on a job site today. This winter, I oversaw the installation of riprap rock used to armor a riverbank, and there was three property owners side by side who got involved in this project. And these guys were like busybodies who were like really involved. Like they wanted to like peer over your shoulder and were almost like a handicap to the job for the most part. But whatever, they're involved. They want to be involved. Okay, great. Um, they're spending the money to get the job done. So, um, but we put in all this rock, and then the there's an issue with the underlying clay. Looks like it's settled. So it looks like there was some ice when it was installed. The ice melted, and then the rock actually like there's a 2 meter wide section of rock that's slumped down about 2 feet. And so I was on this job site today, walking along this thing, just shaking like how did this happen? Like this is I've never seen that happen before, and not really. No, I actually haven't taken vitamins in a while. Um, I've actually been intending to take magnesium and zinc tablets before bed. It helps stimulate deep sleep just a little bit better. But for the most part, I get all my nutrition through food. I'm not lacking. Well, I actually haven't got my blood work done in a year, but I'm eating. I'm still eating the same nutrition that I've always been eating. Like been making sure I've been getting a little bit of everything, and like one indication I'm doing it well is I just feel good, right? I'm not getting like muscle cramps because I don't have enough something like phosphorus in my in my diet. Um, I killed my camera. So you work there pretty constantly. You don't feel a change, so you think it's got to be something in your diet. Well, when people give you advice that eat a lot now and you can thin out later, that's good to a point. Okay, I'm gonna make this camera. Um, that advice isn't necessarily gonna let you steer you too wrong. It's just the more you bulk up now, the more that you're going to have to suffer to cut it off later. It's what's important is like as long as your hormones are in check, hunger will dictate. Hunger will sort of keep you in line. Hunger won't let you get too far off the straight path. But the problem is if you're eating, say, like a lot of calorie-rich, sugary, fat, like processed grease foods, or like a lot of the food that's readily available out there, it messes with your hormones. And when it messes with your hormones, what will happen is your body will have all the calories it needs, but your hunger still says eat more, eat more. Your fat cells are already growing, and they're already large, but you could still be hungry. All right. What do I do next? I'm gonna bring this together next. My camera's sort of making me mad here. There we go. Look at that pretty face. How does the tricep one go, right? You behind the back. On wrong. Oh, my back is sweaty. I don't like it. I don't feel like I'm activating this one right. Turn there. But I like you should feel good. Like whatever plan you're on, like you should feel healthy. You should feel like you have the energy you need. Um, you should live an active, healthy lifestyle. And like in saying that, what might be best for me might not be best for you. What might be best for the next person might not be what works for you. Like the you gotta pick a plan you enjoy and that you can see yourself doing. This is the new crib. Um, I couldn't get like I have a room like a bedroom. It's two bedroom. I have one bedroom as a workout room. I have all my weights in there except for what I brought out to complete this workout. But I couldn't get my desk in the room. There's like a hallway and then the 90-degree and then another hallway that goes into the room. And I couldn't get it through that doorway. So I am going to go buy a small desk so I can put my laptop in there with the camera and work out in there. Right now, I'm still in the living room. I still have tons of boxes everywhere because when I moved in here, the place was still dirty. They're supposed to have cleaners come in and clean it all. They didn't do that, so I had to spend like 8 hours cleaning this place. Lost like pretty much the entire day, and just now I finished cleaning the kitchen so I can actually put my kitchenware into the shelves. Yeah, yeah, I lost 8 pounds. I lost 8 pounds from Thursday to Monday. Everyone was telling me like, "Oh, why are you still working out, lifting weights after moving? Why don't you you're like the moving you're lifting those weights and you're moving, right? So you're building like that's cardio. Like you need hypertrophy to build muscle, and really all that was cardio. That was just moving my body, right? That was actually harder on my body than lifting weights would be because like I'm carrying boxes and you like lean back to counterbalance and I'm going up and down stairs. My ankles are swelling. I was getting inflammation in my lower back, as well as around my knees, and my hands actually got bruised. So my hands are actually bruised right now. Like the meat of my hand is actually bruised, which is a little bit annoying. But I actually dropped 8 pounds just from, and I was hungry too. So what was it? I think it was Monday. Monday I had 2 foot-long subs with double meat from Subway, plus a salad with double meat, and I ate them all in like 10 minutes. Like I only remember eating the salad, and I remember that I had a meatball sub down with double meat, and I remember it tasting good, but literally it was just like grab it, grab it, and then I'm munching on the salad. So I remember eating that salad. The rest is just I don't even remember the first sub. I remember the meatball sub because the meatball sub tasted good, but I think I said I was gonna do some abs today, didn't I? I forgot about that. Maybe I'll do that right now. I don't normally do abs, but I didn't really feel like doing much else. I got this bad boy right here. Oh yeah, I was lifting weights for like 2 hours a day. I streamed my workouts every day. It was a good time. Uh, I was getting nostalgic every time. Like I damn camera. I'll make come on. So yeah, this is my thumb. My thumb is very dry and scraggly, and yeah. So I was getting nostalgic. Like the last time I cooked in that apartment, I was like, oh, this is the last time I'm ever gonna cook here, right? So it's just like, oh, all nostalgic. Then I was like, oh, I'm doing my last chest day here. I'm doing my last leg day here. Oh, I'm doing my last back day here. Um, the worst was Saturday night. Saturday night, I was moving from 5:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. I was either moving or I was cleaning. Then I went for a walk, and I went for like a half an hour, 45-minute walk. Then I got home. I ate some food. Then I did a 2-hour leg workout, like 2.5 hour leg workout. I finished at midnight. Then I moved all my weights out of the apartment and I didn't finish until 3:30 in the morning. So from midnight till 3:30 in the morning, I was moving all my weights down 3 flights of stairs, across the city, up another 3 flights of stairs. That one wore me down. Yeah, that's that's nasty. My, there's maybe I'll. Well, look at that. Ah, so close. And then I ended up sleeping till 10. Made myself breakfast and then went about it again. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Maybe I'll move my camera a little bit. I don't care if it goes out of focus. It's already out of focus. Yeah. Well, it's like it feels uncomfortable to touch anything. Like my clothing, I don't like it. It like catches like ah, I don't like it. I remember I used to get eczema on my hands when I was a kid. Uh, this reminds me of that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go shower. Then I'm going to use the foam roller. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I might just do a workout in the workout room. I might just experiment like how comfortable it is without a ability to stream in there just yet. Battle scars. Yeah, I've actually got some metal slivers in my thumb that I couldn't get out. So I think they're still in there, and I think it's starting to get infected. I'll probably uh, I'll probably go at it with a needle and I get so bored doing abs. Like I just get bored. It's not even that. It's like I don't enjoy that feel of that slow burn that creeps in anymore. It's like yeah, it's starting to burn. I've been there before. I don't like it anymore. Like why am I doing this to myself? It's just slowly burning, and then it burns and you squeeze. Ugh. Yeah, usually when I use my calluses, is because I'll open up the skin underneath my callus, like, and then that'll rip up, and then it just undermines the callus, and then I know it's gonna go. I spent a rather long time on my. This is all meat right here. This is all just meat. I like having the Popeye look, but what actually happens is my biceps look smaller than they are because of the size of my forearms, right? Like it, it somewhat even almost detracts from the size of my biceps. And then even then, before this year, I actually rarely trained biceps. I would get all my biceps through back workouts. I For me, I've never really been as interested in my biceps as like I'd rather have massive triceps. And even then, like when my triceps were the largest is when I would train them for like 10, 15 minutes every day at the end of every workout and getting all that volume and and I got the appropriate growth. Um, I'd rather be like a back with legs and maybe some triceps. I don't even know if I. Well, I got bruises all over my legs here. My legs are my weak point right now. Like they're strong, but they're not shaped the way I want them to be anymore. I got bruises all. Yeah, I don't know if you can see them. That's from carrying all the weights. I don't know how to flex. I can't even flex my legs right now. I think the camera's a little bit too bright. I'm not getting the definition. Like I used to have like really nice like you can see all the like the like the teardrop and all the oops and all the separation of all the different muscles around the. Man, I'm starting to have workout brain. You know, I'm starting to get starting to get a little bit fatigued. I didn't even really push myself too hard today. I think. Yeah, it's funny though. I got a vein on this bicep, but here I got the vein on this shoulder. Like it's not even symmetrical. I can and yeah, this is my left. Well, well, I'm glad I was able to do this today. I really wasn't sure if I was going to, mostly because I had to clear out a whole bunch of space and had to do some cleaning and stuff takes time. All right. I just looked on Twitch. There's nobody really that I know that's on right now, but I'm gonna share the love regardless. I'll find somebody from the fitness and health community look like who looks like they're putting in some good work, and I will send you their way. What's this woman doing? Okay, she's doing some meditation. I'll send you to a woman that looks like she's doing yoga. Do my mandatory. How do I rate someone again? What did I forget? All right. Once again, thank you all for being here. Once I get myself set up a little bit more, I will be, well, I'll be streaming regularly again. But until then, it might be a little bit sporadic. But thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Have a great night.